What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have DRDO just saved 10 years and 2,000 crore rupees for Indian military. How did this happen? Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Let's get right to it.
US and France won't like what just happened, because India has pulled off something that makes their arms lobbies very, very uncomfortable. While they were busy pitching their billion-dollar missile systems and overpriced defense contracts, India quietly activated a secret weapon, its own. For decades, India has depended on foreign suppliers for critical weapons. Whether it was fighter jets from France or helicopters from the US, our forces were always waiting for approvals, waiting for deliveries, waiting for spare parts, waiting for sanctions to be lifted. We had the soldiers, but not always the weapons. And even when we got them, we didn't always get them on time. But all of that is now starting to change. In a game-changing move, DRDO has offered a list of 28 fully indigenous ready-to-order weapons to the Indian Armed Forces. Not experimental, not theoretical. These are tested, cleared, and ready for war. And this one decision may have just saved the military over rupees 2,000 crore and nearly a decade of bureaucratic delay.
Every video I watch, India's pushing further and further, faster and faster, economically, military-wise, partnerships around the world, influence. I, hey, India. India might just be where the future's at.
Let's break this down in the simplest way possible. Every time the Army, Navy, or Air Force needed a new weapon, they had to go through an incredibly slow and frustrating process. First, they write out what kind of weapon they need. Then, that requirement goes through layers of committees. A tender is issued. Dozens of foreign companies respond. Technical trials begin. Sometimes these trials alone take 2 to 4 years. Prices are compared, the best offer is selected, then comes the negotiation. Then it goes up to the Defense Acquisition Council, DAC, and sometimes even to the Cabinet Committee on Security, CCS. Only then does the contract get signed, and after that, production starts. Or worse, the equipment is shipped from abroad, facing delays due to logistical issues, red tape, or political games. All in all, something that should take months can end up taking 7 to 10 years. But even that's not the worst part. Once we sign the deal, we're stuck with it. Spare parts? We have to wait. Software upgrades? We have to beg. If something malfunctions, we have to send it back. And if we ever criticize that country publicly or vote differently at the UN, they can stop support. We've seen this happen. DRDO has decided that enough is enough. It quietly compiled a catalog of 28 made-in-India weapon systems, covering a wide range of combat needs across all 3 branches of the armed forces.
I love it. As you see them becoming more and more self-reliant, definitely in terms of defense, militaries, and they're becoming more and more self-reliant in terms of everything. But I think what he says right. Like when you relying on other countries for weapons and everything, you're kind of at their whim for fixes, the parts for different fixes, maintenance, and everything. And like he said, you gotta vote the way they vote. You gotta always you gotta keep that relationship a good relationship, even if it's one sided and you're not getting anything out of the relationship. But when you're more self reliant, you ain't gotta bend the knee. You ain't gotta kiss nobody's butt. We good over here. We can make our own weapons. We don't need y'all's. We gonna vote how we want to vote. We gonna do what we want.
These include rocket and grenade systems like the Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launcher and the multi-mode hand grenade, both designed for rapid, high-impact ground operations. It features advanced guided missile systems, such as the NAG anti-tank missile, the Helena helicopter-launched NAG, the Rudram anti-radiation missile for suppressing enemy radar, and the Vishorads, a shoulder-fired air defense missile ideal for low-flying threats. For naval warfare, the list includes torpedoes and anti-submarine depth charges capable of neutralizing underwater threats. And for the Indian Air Force, The catalog includes smart bombs like the Smart Anti-Airfield Weapon, SAAW, and precision laser-guided munitions, allowing deep strike capability with surgical accuracy. These systems are not just indigenous, they are tested, validated, and ready to be delivered under emergency timelines. These aren't dreams. These are actual weapons, tested, proven, ready. Let's say the Army wants an anti-tank missile immediately. Instead of waiting 5 years, they can now just choose from DRDO's list. For air defense, no need to ask abroad. India's own V-SHORADS is ready for production. Need a smart bomb that can glide over 100 kilometers? SAAW is made in India and already in use. And perhaps most importantly, these systems are affordable. When we buy foreign weapons, the cost is inflated. A system that should cost rupees 50 lakh ends up costing rupees 2 crore. Why? Because we pay for licenses, logistics, middlemen, and a lot of politics. Indian systems are often half or one-third the price. Experts estimate that by choosing these 28 weapons, the Indian Armed Forces can save over rupees 2,000 crore in direct and indirect costs. That money can be used to build roads in border areas, to provide better housing for soldiers, or to fund next-generation technology.
It's actually insane, like all the money you save from not having to pay for these weapons from somebody else, to get them from somebody else. And it sounds, I mean, all the weapons they created definitely cover all branches of the military. They definitely didn't leave anyone out, had everyone in mind. And as I'm hearing the weapons they talking about, I'm like, oh, dang, okay. And then you talk about how much freaking money that was saved in being more self-reliant when it comes to defense. India's in a great spot. Absolutely amazing spot. And you don't got to worry about making anybody angry and them not supplying you. You supply yourself.
But money isn't the only thing we're saving. We're saving time. And in modern warfare, time is the most expensive weapon. Under emergency procurement rules, the Army, Navy, and Air Force can now order these weapons and receive them within 6 to 12 months.
Dang.
That's record time. That's faster than even some private companies can deliver vehicles. And here's the best part. This move doesn't just benefit the military, it benefits India's economy. The weapons won't just be made by DRDO. They will be built by Indian PSUs like Bharat Dynamics and private firms like Adani Defense, Solar Industries, and others. This creates jobs. This builds skills. This strengthens the defense ecosystem. India is not just buying Indian weapons, it is creating Indian industries. And it's all part of a bigger pattern. This shift began during Operation Sindoor. Indian weapons were tested in actual conflict conditions. Akash air defense systems, MERSAM, BrahMos cruise missiles, and they worked spectacularly. That success gave the government confidence. That confidence gave DRDO the green light. And now, India is quietly doing something very few countries have managed to do: build a self-reliant military industry. It's important to understand how rare this is. Only a handful of countries in the world make their own full range of defense systems. The US, China, Russia, and France. Even developed countries like Germany or Japan rely on imports for key systems. But India is saying,
so you're talking about what a handful of countries that make their own weapons, they just said. And India is saying we are now joining that handful. But we are not only becoming self-reliant is just the beginning. We want to be one of the top weapons dealers in the world. And so I think the US has that spot right now. So like, watch out though, because I feel like a lot of things that India are made in India, when it comes to like even the space program, they can make just as great a quality, if not higher, than a lot of Western countries for a cheaper price, which is insane.
We will build it all. And it's not about isolation, it's about independence. Because in war, you can't depend on promises. You need performance, you need delivery, you need control. And that control only comes when you make your weapons, your upgrades, and your strategy on your own terms. This isn't just DRDO handing out a list. This is India declaring a new way forward, a way where our military isn't held hostage by foreign policies, a way where our soldiers don't wait for a foreign company to fix a radar, a way where our tax money stays in India, So yes, the US and France won't like this, because India just became a tougher customer. We're not desperate anymore. We're not dependent anymore. We're choosing our own path. This is DRDO's masterstroke, and it's just the beginning. Because if India can list 28 weapons today, it can list 100 tomorrow. If we can build for ourselves, we can build for our allies. And if we can protect our borders with Indian technology, we can lead the world in defense innovation. India is ready. The question is the world ready for India?
Oh, that is a very good question to ask. What do y'all think? I need y'all talking to me in the comment section on this one. If you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. Check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.